Tutankhamun's funerary temple, his tomb, and the sarcophagus found in it. Depictions of Pharaoh in the reliefs of Tutankhamun's mansion. Part 1. The sunk relief decoration of the piers surrounding an open courtyard behind the sea. 20 meters wide facade conformed to tradition. The king, as well as Tutankhamun, stands under the protective wings of the solar falcon, the deity or of Necbut's vulture, facing a goddess or a god, most frequently Amun. The divinity embraces the king, holds an NH sign to his nose, or clasps him by the hand. The scenes so far documented in the decoration likewise derive from the standard repertory found in temples of the gods during the New Kingdom. These include presentation of offerings, rites of purification, processions on land and on the river with large and small divine barks. Paralleling closely the decoration of the colonnade hall of Lua Temple. One of the conventional themes is the presentation of Ma'at in the reliefs of the mansion. The king proffers a small, squatting figure of the goddess, Ma'at with a feather, her distinctive attribute atop her head. Presumably the recipient was Amun, but the adjoining block has not yet been located. Nor can the king, whose figure has been damaged by hacking Tutankhamun, or be identified in the absence of a label. Another traditional, but much older, theme in the reliefs of the mansion is driving the calves plate XX. Because the scene comes from Karnak, Amun should be the god in whose honor this rite was performed. Arno Egberts has traced this subject with its agrarian/pastoral origins, back to at least as early as the 5th H dynasty. Fragments of relief from King Saure's funerary temple at Abusir belonged to such a tableau. Most, though not all, later examples come from gods' temples, rather than a funerary context. Beginning in the New Kingdom, driving the calves is coupled with the scene of consecrating the mirate chests, another rite affirming the ruler's legitimacy. Complete scenes of Pharaoh driving the calves into the presence of a god show the animals depicted in 4 sub-registers, one above the other, in front of the king. Labels distinguish the calves by color: black, white, red, and dappled. The block from the mansion illustrated here preserves part of 2 calves. The remaining 2 calves are partially preserved on other blocks belonging to the scene, as is the figure of the king driving them, followed by the smaller figure of the royal car, the embodiment of Pharaoh's life force. The blue painting of Amun's skin, preserved here, contrasts with the color of his figure in scenes created before the Amarna period. Few depictions of the god survived the iconoclastic phase of Akhenaten's reign, and fewer still retain their original color, but so far only one has been documented with traces of blue painting. The others show the god with red-brown skin like that of other males. The relief from the mansion showing Amun with blue skin epitomizes his new, post-Amarna coloring. By the time of Seti I, scarcely more than 3 decades later, a figure of Amun with red-brown skin was a thing of the past. Blue was the most prestigious color in the Egyptian palette. Egyptologists have often explained Amun's blue skin color as a reference to his role as a god of the heavens. Regardless, it clearly distinguished representations of Amun from mortals, including the king, as well as from other gods. The blocks comprising the scene of driving the calves were decorated on both sides. Because the king kneeling in front of Amun on the other side is labeled he, rather than Tutankhamun, may well have been the king driving the calves before the Lord of Karnak. This type of scene, with the complementary scene showing the rite of consecrating mirate chests, is documented at other sites with either Tutankhamun or as Pharaoh officiating, for example, with Tutankhamun before Min and Isis in his temple at Kawa.